Okay, now you can type your attendance. All of you, please type your attendance. Tomorrow you will have an exam. Okay. Did you remember that? Yes, Sridev.
Yes.
Okay, tomorrow you have an exam at 6:30 p.m. Okay. Ready for that exam. Okay.
Which chapter?
An interview with Milka Singh and the poem Song. 2 lessons. Okay, shall we start? Now we are moving to our new lesson. That is, I think we have completed our activities related to the lesson wind, isn't it? Okay. Then next one, flying home. Flying home. 6th lesson. Our 6th lesson is flying home. Please listen carefully. Page number 46. But the night is fair, and everywhere a warm, soft vapor fills the air, and distant sounds seem near, and above in the light of the star-lit night, swift birds of passage wing their flight through the dewy atmosphere. I hear the beat of their pinions fleet, as from the land of snow and sleet, they seek a southern lead. Okay. In this, this is not a detailed poem. This is not for your detailed study. Okay. It is an introduction to this lesson, Flying Home. This is in this poem, H.W. Longfellow, he speaks about birds. That is, in this lesson, Flying Home, we are also going to learn about some birds. Okay. Some migratory birds. Did you know what is migratory birds? Migration of birds.
I know, Miss.
Okay, Sridev.
One place to another place.
Yes, seasonal movement of birds or animals from one place to another. That is migration. Okay. In this lesson, we are going to learn about some migratory birds. As an introduction, you have given a poem that is, but the night is fair and everywhere a warm soft vapor fills in the air and distant sounds seem near. And above in the light of the star-lit night, swift birds of passage wing their flight through the dewy atmosphere. So here you can see the night is fair and everywhere a warm soft vapor. Vapor means the presence of water in atmosphere. Neeravi nu parille. We can feel water vapor in the air and distant sounds seem near us. At that time, we can hear some distant sounds came near to us. What may be that sound? Automatically, we can say that sound of birds. Okay. Now we are moving to going to study about birds. So just an introduction, just few lines about birds. These are few lines about birds by H.W. Longfellow. And above in the light of the star-lit night, swift birds of passage with their flight through the dewy atmosphere. Yes, in the atmosphere, in the light of the star-lit night, yes, light, star-lit light means, lit night means night that is filled with the stars. Okay, in that time you can see the passage of some birds. Swift birds means flying off birds through the dewy atmosphere. Through this wet atmosphere, you can see the passage or moving of some birds. I hear the beat of their pinions fleet. Pinions fleet means the outer part of the wings of birds flying in a row. Yes, this poet says that he can hear the beat, hear the sound of their wings. Okay, during the time of fly, these birds are flying together in a group. They are moving from one place to another. So the poet says that he can hear the sound of the wings. Okay, wings of that birds. Then, as the form of the land of snow and sleet, they seek a southernly. Yes, they are coming from the area which is covered with snow. They want a warm climate. Okay, so they are moving from their place to another in order to get a warm climate. In winter season or in season with snow or sleet. Sleet means rain along with the this snow ആണ്. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പൊ എന്താണ്, തണുപ്പുള്ള പ്രദേശത്ത് നിന്ന് തണുപ്പ് വളരെ കൂടുന്ന സമയത്ത് ബേർഡ്സ് എന്ത് ചെയ്യും, വേറെ സ്ഥലത്തേക്ക് മൈഗ്രേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് പോകും. അതാണ് ഈ പോയത്തിൽ പറയുന്നത്. അതേപോലെ നമ്മൾ ഇതിനകത്ത് ഈ ലെസണിനകത്തും ഫ്ലൈയിങ് ഹോം എന്നുള്ള ലെസണിനകത്തും നമ്മൾ ബേർഡ്സിനെ കുറിച്ചാണ് പഠിക്കാൻ പോകുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, okay, shall we start? This poem is not for a detailed study. This is just an introduction to this lesson. Okay, so we can start now. Please listen carefully. Every winter, thousands of swallows, wild geese, Arctic terns, Siberian cranes, and lapwings, among others, fly south from the cold northern hemisphere to live and breed in the warmer climes of the equatorial and tropical regions. As summer approaches and lakes and marshes begin to dry up, they repeat grueling journey to fly back. This passage of thousands of kilometers requires not just physical stamina, but also the ability to navigate and to find food and a place for rest. Okay, here this lesson is not a fictional one. This is a non-fiction. That means this is not an imaginary one. Okay, fictional means imaginary. Okay, this is not an imaginary thing. This is story polonnu alla. This factual parayna oru lesson aanu. Okay, this lesson tells us some fact about these birds. Okay, then every winter thousands of swallows, wild geese, Arctic terns, Siberian cranes, and lapwings, among others, fly south from the cold northern hemisphere to live and breed in the warmer climes of the equatorial and tropical regions. Yes, in this sentence, you can see the names of some birds. Which are the birds that you can see in this sentence?
Wild geese, Arctic terns, Siberian cranes, and lapwings.
Yes, these are names of some birds. Okay, all these are the names of some birds. You can see the pictures of that birds in your textbook just above that paragraph. Okay, Arctic tern, swallow, lapwing, and Siberian crane. These are the birds. Okay, these are migratory birds. That means these type of birds move from one place to another for a good climate. Okay, yes, here it says that they fly south from the cold northern hemisphere. Yes, they came from this cold southern hemisphere. That means area which is filled with the cold. Okay, തണുപ്പുള്ള സ്ഥലത്ത് നിന്ന് അവർ എന്ത് ചെയ്യും, ചൂട് കിട്ടാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് അവർ എന്ത് ചെയ്യും, അവിടുന്ന് തണുപ്പ് കൂടുന്ന സമയത്ത് മൈഗ്രേഷൻ നടത്തും. അതാണ് പറയുന്നത്. ഹെമിസ്ഫിയർ ടു live and breed in the warmer climes. Warmer climes, you can see the meaning. Warmer regions with hot, കുറച്ച് ചൂടുള്ള പ്രദേശത്തേക്ക് അവർ മാറും. Warmer climes of the equatorial and tropical regions. As summer approaches and lakes and marshes begin to dry up, they repeat the grueling journey to fly back. Yes, after this സമ്മർ എന്താണ് വലിയ വേനൽക്കാലാകുമ്പോൾ എന്ത് സംഭവിക്കും? Lakes and marshes begin to dry up. Lakes is a water body. We know that. Yes, lakes and marshes you can see that.
Wet, muddy areas of
land. Wet, muddy areas of land. ചതുപ്പ് എന്നൊക്കെ പറയും. നനഞ്ഞ എന്താണ് ചെളി പോലത്തെ മണ്ണുള്ള സ്ഥലം ഉണ്ടാവൂലേ, ഒരു നനവുള്ള മണ്ണ്, അങ്ങനത്തെ ഏരിയ. അപ്പൊ അവരെന്ത് ചെയ്യും? ഡ്യൂറിംഗ് ദ ടൈം ഓഫ് സമ്മർ they move back, they fly back, they repeat the grueling journey to fly back. Grueling means
very difficult and tiring.
Yes, very difficult and tiring. Tiring means tired. Yes, they repeat this journey during the time of very hot climate. Okay, very hot season. They move from that place and they start their difficult journey from one place to another. Is it clear? Here you can see the names of some birds, and these birds move from cold regions to warm regions in order to get warm. Then after that, in hot or in summer, when summer approaches, they from that place also, when these lakes or rivers dry up, during that time they move back. Okay, then this passage of thousands of kilometers requires not just a physical stamina, but also the ability to navigate and to find food and a place for rest. Okay, this passage of thousands of kilometers, yes, these birds travel thousands of kilometers in order to reach a safe place, in order to reach a safe climate. Okay, this travel, this passage requires not just physical stamina, not just physical strength. Okay, that means not only the physical strength is required, but also the ability to navigate and to find food and a place for rest. Navigate means
find a way from one place to another.
Yes, it is a very difficult task to find a way. ഒരു വഴി കണ്ടുപിടിക്കണ്ടേ, ഒരു റൂട്ട് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിലല്ലേ ഇവർക്ക് പോകാൻ വേണ്ടി പറ്റുള്ളൂ. So we can say that the physical strength as well as ability to navigate, to find a way, these two are very important for these birds. And to find food and a place for rest. Yes, they also want food. Okay, they also want food and a place to rest. Okay, is it clear? During the time of traveling, they want a place to rest and food. Then why and how do birds migrate? The main reason, of course, is the availability of food down south in the marshes of Africa and Asia. How do these fragile creatures manage to complete with such an arduous journey? Their light, hollow bones and warm waterproof plumage help them fly swiftly and comfortably over long distances and in adverse weather conditions. Okay, here we can say why and how do birds migrate? Here is a question for what and how this, why and how these birds migrate. What is the reason for their migration? We can see the reason for their migration, movement of the birds from one place to another. The main reason, of course, is the availability of food down south in the marshes of Africa and Asia. Yes, the main reason is they want to get proper food. Okay, during the time of winter season, they didn't get proper food. So that's why they are moving from their region to another in order to get good food for their survival. Okay, as well as they need a warm climate also. Then yes, it is food down the marshes of Africa and Asia. Yes, They can find food in the marshes. Marshes, we have already discussed the meaning of marshes. An area with mud. Okay. Yes. Then how do these fragile creatures manage to complete such an arduous journey? Arduous meaning?
Very difficult and tiresome.
Yes, very difficult and tiresome. Next we can see a question, one more question, that is, how do these fragile creatures, fragile means weak, okay, how do these weak creatures, itra weak aayittulla ee jeevigal, how they manage to complete such an arduous journey? Yes, how these birds manage to face this difficult journey? Okay, that is the question. Then their light, hollow bones and warm waterproof plumage help them fly swiftly and comfortably over long distance and in adverse weather conditions. Yes, you can see the answer for that. That is their light, hollow bones. Yes, what speciality of their bones? Light and hollow. Hollow means empty. അവരുടെ ബോൺസ് എങ്ങനെയായിരിക്കും, എല്ലുകൾ എങ്ങനെയായിരിക്കും പക്ഷികളുടേത്? വെയിറ്റ് വളരെ കുറവായിരിക്കും, ലൈറ്റ് ആയിരിക്കും, അതിന്റെ ഉൾഭാഗം എന്തായിരിക്കും? ഹോളോ ആയിരിക്കും, അതായത് എംറ്റി ആയിരിക്കും. അതുകൊണ്ട് എന്താണ്, അവർക്ക് ഫ്ലൈ ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് അവരുടെ വെയിറ്റ്, നല്ല വെയിറ്റ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിലായിരിക്കില്ലേ ഫ്ലൈ ചെയ്യാൻ ബുദ്ധിമുട്ട് വരിക. സോ ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് വൺ റീസൺ. ബോൺസ് ആൻഡ് വാം വാട്ടർ പ്രൂഫ് പ്ലമേജ്. പ്ലമേജ് മീൻസ്
the feathers on a bird's body.
Yes, the feathers on a bird's body. Feathers എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ എന്താണെന്ന് അറിയില്ലേ? Feathers. തൂവൽ. Yes, their waterproof feathers help them to fly swiftly. Okay, അവരുടെ ഫെദർ എന്താണ്? വാട്ടർ പ്രൂഫ് ആണ്. ദാറ്റ് മീൻസ് എന്താണ്, അതിൽ വെള്ളം വീണാലും എന്താണ്, അതിനൊന്നും ആവൂല. ചില സാധനങ്ങൾ വെള്ളം വീണാൽ എന്ത് ചെയ്യും? അലിഞ്ഞു പോകും, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അത് ഒട്ടിപ്പിടിച്ചു പോകും, അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ ഇല്ലേ? പക്ഷെ എന്താണ്, the wings of these birds are waterproof, so they can easily fly even though it is raining. മഴ പെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ പോലും അവർക്ക് പറക്കുന്നതിന് ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടുണ്ടാവില്ല. വാട്ടർ പ്രൂഫ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള വിങ്സ് ആണ് അവർക്കുള്ളത്. ഓക്കെ. And them fly swiftly and comfortably over long distance and in adverse weather conditions. Adverse weather conditions means unfavorable weather condition. That may be rain. ഏത് വെതർ കണ്ടീഷൻ ആണെങ്കിലും അവർക്ക് ഈ ഒരു പ്രത്യേകത ഉള്ളത് കൊണ്ട് ഈസി ആയിട്ട് പറന്നു പോകാൻ പറ്റും. What are the specialities of these birds? Specialities?
Their wings are waterproof.
Yes. What about the bones?
Light and hollow bones.
Lightweight bones.
Yes, light and hollow bones. Very good. So they can travel distances even in adverse weather condition, even in difficult weather condition. Even more amazing are their navigational skills, which any pilot would try their utmost to emulate. Emulate meaning try to be
as good as someone else.
Yes. Yes, here we can see that there even more amazing are their navigational skills. Navigational skills, we already discussed the meaning of navigation. That is, they can find the way. Okay, find their way. It is the thing, the way which they find the path is amazing, just amazing thing that any pilot would try their utmost to emulate. Yes. എന്താണ് പൈലറ്റ് അല്ലേ? എനി പൈലറ്റ് എങ്ങനെയാണ് നാവിഗേഷൻ അല്ലേ അവർക്കും? We can say that they navigate through the sky. So like a പൈലറ്റിനെ പോലെ എന്താണ്, പൈലറ്റിനെക്കാളും സ്കിൽ ആർക്കുണ്ട്? ബേർഡ്സിനുണ്ട്. To navigate, to find their way. Is it clear? Yes. Then scientists believe that birds use the sun, the moon and the stars to sense direction. Yes. Then here you can see that some scientists believe that these birds have the Ability to, what is their ability? Ability to sense the moon and sun to find out their way, find out their direction. Okay, they can predict, or they can find out their way by looking the position of sun or moon. Okay, this is the belief of some scientists. And they can also detect the earth magnetic field and form mental maps of the sky that help them find the best route for their migration. Yes, then we can see that they can also detect the earth's magnetic field. We know that earth had magnetic field, isn't it? In science, you will, I think sometimes you may study that, or പഠിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടോ സയൻസിൽ എർത്തിന് മാഗ്നറ്റിക് ഫീൽഡ് ഉണ്ടെന്നൊക്കെ? Science or geography? Okay, then പഠിപ്പിക്കുമായിരിക്കും. They can also detect the earth's magnetic field and from mental maps of the sky that help them to find the best route for their migration. Yes, this they know how to detect the earth's magnetic field and form mental maps. They can create their own ideas. Okay, well, in which route they can choose from the magnetic field or from the sun or moon. These are said by the scientists. Okay, is it clear? Yes. Next one, some scientists suggest that suggest that migration is typically nocturnal. Nocturnal, do you know the meaning of nocturnal? I think this will be studied in your science class. Maybe nocturnal animals എന്നൊക്കെ പഠിച്ചിട്ടില്ലേ? Nocturnal birds. No, night. Nocturnal means night. Okay, some scientists suggest that migration is typically nocturnal. That means this migration, this traveling is typically at night. According to the opinion of some scientists, these birds migrate during the time of which time?
Night.
Yes, night, during the time of night. But this view is contradictory as birds have been found to migrate during the day as well. But we can't say that this migration takes place during the time of night, because we can see migration of birds during the daytime, isn't it? Contradictory means opposite. We can say that this statement is not correct, because we can see the migration of birds during the time of daytime. In daytime also we can see migration. So this statement is somewhat not correct. Okay, then next paragraph. Shall we move to the next paragraph? എന്തെങ്കിലും മനസ്സിലാവാത്തുണ്ടോ? Any doubt? No. Okay. Adult birds can always find their way home. Ornithologists once took a seabird called Manx shearwater and released it in America. The bird was back in its nest, Pembrokeshire, the United Kingdom, even before the letter announcing its release had arrived. Okay, here you can see adult birds can always find their way home. Yes, this adult means not young birds, matured birds. Okay, adult birds can always find their way home. Yes, they can find their way to home. Okay, അവർക്ക് അവരുടെ വീട്ടിലേക്ക് പോകാനുള്ള വഴി അറിയാമെന്ന്. Ornithologist once took a seabird called Manx shearwater and released it in America. Ornithologist, have you heard ornithologist? No. Then look at your glossary, word meanings.
Professionals who study birds.
Yes. Ornithologists are persons who study about birds. പക്ഷി നിരീക്ഷകർ എന്ന് പറയില്ലേ, പക്ഷികളെ കുറിച്ച് പഠിക്കുന്നവർ, പക്ഷി ഗവേഷകർ അങ്ങനെ എന്തോ പറയുന്ന. Yes, ornithologist. Yes, they once took a seabird called man's shearwater. What did they do? They took a seabird. Its name is man's shearwater and released it in America. Yes, they took a seabird and released this bird in America. Then what happened? The bird was back in its nest in Pembrokeshire, the United Kingdom, even before the letter announcing its release had arrived. Yes, what happened? This bird went back to the bird's proper place, that is in UK, Pembrokeshire, even before the letter announcing that its release had arrived. എന്താണ് അതിനെ തുറന്നു വിട്ടു എന്നുള്ള ലെറ്റർ അവിടെ എത്തുന്നതിന് മുന്നേ തന്നെ എന്ത് ചെയ്തു? ഈ ബേർഡ് അമേരിക്കയിൽ തുറന്നു വിട്ട ബേർഡ് UK എത്തി. ഓക്കെ, ദാറ്റ് മീൻസ് ദ ബേർഡ് നോസ് ഇറ്റ്സ് നെസ്റ്റ്. ഓക്കെ, bird knows the way to its nest. Is it clear? Yes. Then let's revise. Name any 4 migratory birds.
Arctic tern, swallow, lapwing, Siberian.
Yes. Wild, you can include wild geese, Arctic terns, Siberian cranes, lapwings. 4 migratory birds. What help birds fly long distance in adverse weather conditions?
Their light, hollow bones and warm, waterproof plumage help them fly swiftly and comfortably over long distance and in adverse weather conditions.
Yes, that's the answer. What helps birds fly long distance in adverse conditions? That is, their light, hollow bones and warm waterproof plumage help them fly swiftly and comfortably over long distance and even in adverse weather conditions. Okay. Is it clear? Yes. Then shall we move to the next one? Last portion of, yes, flying together. This is the second portion. You can see the first portion, flying home, then flying together, second portion of this lesson. That is, I will read it first. Please listen carefully. On bright spring days, we sometimes spot a flock of ducks or geese flying across the sunny skies in a neat V formation. They are like a fleet of fighter aircraft performing acrobatics across the sky. In fact, our pilots have learned some basic lessons in aerodynamics from these humble creatures. Okay. On bright spring days, we sometimes spot a flock of duck or geese flying across the sunny skies in a neat V formation. V formation. You can see the picture of V formation in page number 49. During the time of spring season, we can see this type of spring formation, V formation in the sky by the birds. Okay, that's why this is called V formation. എന്തുകൊണ്ടായിരിക്കും ഇത് V formation എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ബേർഡ്സിന്റെ?
It is in a shape of V.
Yes, we can see that it is in a shape of V. So this is V formation. That may be a flock of ducks. Flock means group. Okay, group of ducks or geese. Geese is a type of bird. They can form this V. They are like a fleet of fighter aircraft performing acrobatics across the sky. Yes. You can see the meaning of performing acrobatics. What is the meaning of performing acrobatics?
Moving like gymnasts.
Yes, moving like gymnastics. That is gymnastics അറിയില്ലേ മറ്റേ അവരുടെ ബോഡി കൊണ്ട് അവർ ചെയ്യുന്ന കാണാമല്ലേ എല്ലാവർക്കും ഫ്ലെക്സിബിൾ അല്ലേ yes like that they are like a fleet of fighter aircraft performing acrobatic across in the sky that means we can see the some performances made by these pilots in the sky എന്താണ് ന്യൂസിലൊക്കെ കണ്ടിട്ടില്ലേ നിങ്ങള് പൈലറ്റ് നല്ല സ്കൈയിൽ പെർഫോമൻസ് നടത്തുന്നത് സ്പെഷ്യൽ ഇവന്റ്സിന്
മിസ് ഇൻഡിപെൻഡൻസ് ഡേക്ക് പരേഡിന്
യെസ് അങ്ങനെ എന്തെങ്കിലും സ്പെഷ്യൽ ഒക്കേഷൻസിന് ഇവര് നടത്താറുണ്ട് അതേപോലെ എന്താണ് they are like a fleet of fighter aircraft performing acrobatics across the sky. Yes, these birds are like that. Those who are performing the those like the pilot performing acrobatics. In fact, our pilots have learned some basic lesson in aerodynamics from these humble creatures. Aerodynamic means here
the techniques of flying smoothly.
Yes, the techniques of flying smoothly. So we can say that in fact യഥാർത്ഥത്തിൽ എന്താണ് our pilots have learned some basic lessons in aerodynamics from these humble creatures. Humble creatures means these birds. We can say that our pilots learned lesson from these birds. Okay. ഈ ബേർഡ്സിനെ കണ്ടിട്ടാണ് നമ്മുടെ പൈലറ്റിനും കുറച്ച് ലെസൺസ് അതിൽ നിന്നും എടുക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി പറ്റിയിട്ടുണ്ടെന്നാണ് പറയുന്നത്. Okay. Then a V formation is a very efficient way to fly as it helps bird cover long distances using the least amount of energy. Yes, this V formation is not for a simple thing. Okay, this is an efficient way to fly for the bird. It helps the birds to cover long distances using least amount of energy. In this pattern, they can travel long distances without losing much energy. Okay, they formed this type of V formation in order to make a good journey. Okay, they can there will be no difficulty. This is an efficient way for them. Okay, എന്താണ് ഇവർ ഈ V formation നടത്തുന്നത് എന്താണ് അവരുടെ ഫ്ലൈയിങ് കുറച്ച് സ്മൂത്ത് ആവാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ് ഈസി ആവും ഈ ഒരു പാറ്റേണിൽ പോയാല് then the bird flying at the tip of the V has the hardest task as it breaks through the resistance of air to go forward. Resistance of air, the force extended by air on a moving body. ഒരു മൂവിംഗ് ബോഡിയിൽ എയർ കൊടുക്കുന്ന ഫോഴ്സ്. Okay, that is the bird flying at the tip of the V. Tip means ഏറ്റവും അറ്റത്ത് ആ സെൻട്രൽ കാണുന്നില്ലേ this tip. Yes, that bird has the hardest task as it breaks through the resistance of air to go forward. Yes, in this the tip at the tip of the we can see a bird. That bird faces the hardest task because there is a force exerted by air on that bird. Okay, കൂടുതൽ ഫോഴ്സ് വരുന്നത് എന്താണ് ആ സെൻട്രലിൽ പോകുന്ന ആ ടിപ്പിൽ പോകുന്ന ബേർഡിനായിരിക്കും ബാക്കിയുള്ളവരെ കമ്പയർ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ. Okay, just as a boat ploughing through the waves leaves a V-shaped wake of smooth water, the leader of the bird cuts air resistance. Okay, that is V-shaped wake of smooth water. V-shaped pattern formed by water behind a moving boat. Yes, did you notice that there is a V-shape formed behind the boat during the time of its passage through the water? ബോട്ട് വെള്ളത്തിലേക്ക് കൂടെ പോകുമ്പോൾ പുറകിൽ ഒരു വി ഷേപ്പ് പാറ്റേൺ ആ വരുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, കണ്ടിട്ടില്ലേ? ഫിലിംസിലൊക്കെ ആണെങ്കിലും കാണാമല്ലേ ബോട്ട് പോകുന്ന സമയത്ത് പുറകിൽ നിന്ന് ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഷേപ്പ് പോകുന്നില്ലേ? Water, yes. V-shaped pattern formed by water behind a moving boat. That is, just as a boat ploughing through the waves leaves a V-shaped wake of the smooth water, the leader of the bird cuts air resistance. Yes. This എന്താണ് ഈ ബോട്ടിന്റെ പുറകെ ഒരു വി ഷേപ്പ് കാണുന്നത് പോലെ തന്നെ എന്താണ് ഈ ഫ്രണ്ടിൽ പോകുന്ന ബേർഡ് ഇല്ലേ ഈ ബേർഡാണ് എയറിനെ കട്ട് ചെയ്ത് പോകുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, ബ്ലോക്സ് ഒക്കെ കട്ട് ചെയ്ത് പോകുന്നത് ആ ടിപ്പിൽ പോകുന്ന ബേർഡാണ്. സോ ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് വെരി ഡിഫിക്കൾട്ട് for this bird. So the birds following it find it less tiring to fly. Yes, this bird cuts the air or resists the air in front of this bird. So other birds following this bird find less tiring. They were not tired. Okay, they will not become tired because most tiresome task is in the hand of that bird which is flying in the tip of the V. Okay, മറ്റു ബേർഡ്സിന് അത് അത്ര ഡിഫിക്കൽട്ടി ആയിട്ട് വരില്ല, ടിപ്പിൽ പോകുന്ന ബേർഡിനാണ് ഡിഫിക്കൽട്ടി. With surprising discipline, the leader falls back after a while and another bird takes its place. Then, with surprising discipline, the bird falls back after a while and another bird takes place. എന്താണ്? They have a strict discipline. അവർ പോകുന്നതിന് ഒരു കൃത്യമായിട്ടുള്ള ഓർഡർ ഉണ്ട്. അവരെന്ത് ചെയ്യും? ഈ സെൻട്രലിൽ പോകുന്ന ടിപ്പിൽ പോകുന്ന ബേർഡ്, when this bird become tired, they move back the position. This bird move back the position and another bird takes that position. Okay, ഒരു പൊസിഷൻ മാറും. ഈ ഒരു ബേർഡ് അടുത്ത് കഴിയുമ്പോൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യും? നെക്സ്റ്റ് one takes place that position. Okay, is it clear? Yes. Then in this manner the whole flood moves swiftly towards its destination. Yes, in this manner they are changing their position. Even the one which fly in the tip tired, the next one will take the position and this process continues. Okay, they move swiftly towards its destination. Destination means the place where they want to go. അവരുടെ ലക്ഷ്യത്തിലേക്ക് അവരെത്തും. അങ്ങനെ മാറി മാറി ചെയ്തിട്ട് വി ഷേപ്പിൽ പോകുന്നതുകൊണ്ട് ഈസി ആയിട്ട് പോകാൻ പറ്റും അവർക്ക്. Is it clear? Then last paragraph, after that we can discuss. Let's revise. This means that while using the same amount of energy, a flock moves 70% faster and covers longer distance than a bird flying alone. It also allows the birds to keep track of the whole flock, thus making sure that no bird lags behind. The flight of birds in a V formation is a fine example of discipline and teamwork in nature. Okay, we have no time to explain this paragraph and let's revise. So we can continue it in Friday. This small portion, we can take this small portion in Friday. Okay, so tomorrow you have an exam. Don't forget that. Study well. Okay, thank you. Now
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you.